Okay, stream should be back up. What?
Don't worry about it. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good.
Okay, I'm ready. If any admin wants to join me for stuff, just to talk, that'd be cool.
I'll be hanging around. Yep.
Yep. Set is tangled. Set is tangled with controller. There we go. There we go. Roll up them sleeves. Roll up them sleeves. Should I start?
All right. Muncha, sounds like Meta's good to go. Are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool.
Okay.
Go ahead and...
Let me know when I should give a countdown.
Yeah, anytime now.
Okay. We'll start on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Hyper Light Drifter. It's inspired by games from the Super Nintendo era, most notably Link to the Past, I would say. I just picked up the map, and there's a lot to talk about in this intro, so I'll try to get through it. Ouch, bonked. Anyway. That's a teleport pad, that'll be handy later. Okay, so as you can see, the main form of movement is this dash. I can chain it infinitely. This is New Game Plus difficulty, by the way. So it starts me out with most of the upgrades in the game, but not all of the weapons. Everything I do with the dash and other abilities is dependent on the stamina meter, which is the white bar in the top left corner. Ouch. So with the dash, you can chain it infinitely, like I said. Sets of 2 are the best for conserving stamina. Sets of 3 are the fastest, but as you can see, I can bonk if I dash too many times and then collide with something. And then after your 4th or longer, you'll do a slide at the end of your chain, which usually isn't that helpful. So the objective is to go to each area, the north, south, east, and west, and I need to activate 4 modules, which I'm coming up on the first one soon, raise a pillar, and since this is the all bosses category, I will be killing every boss. So this is the first module in this route. pause here because after the first module in the game, it brings up the map. I'll walk over here. As far as similarities speedrun-wise, this game kind of reminds me of Bastion, only in that the dash and the roll mechanic are somewhat similar, and you don't want to fall off the world. And most of these coughs you see are scripted. This game prefers to show rather than tell its story, so I couldn't even begin to explain it. But the main bullet point is that the Drifter is very sick, and he is trying to find a way to end that, as well as save his world. The basic premise is that this world has already been through a great deal of hardship, and the Drifter is here to put an end to that. Okay. Glad that guy didn't. Things are now complicated. Ow. So I only have 2 health. These big plant enemies deal 2 damage. I usually don't die there, but I messed up my hit on this enemy, because for whatever reason, at the end of his attack, he has some invincibility. I usually don't die here, but these plant enemies keep dodging all my shots. Okay. Now I have to do an out of bounds with this red door. Okay. The way that works is you essentially wait for the door to start reforming, and then you can dash out of bounds. It's very difficult to explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. But when you activate a module, if you open up the map and then the inventory screen, you're allowed to move around while the module cutscene plays, which is what I was doing. And this one skips a key, or a door that requires a key to open. And this just happens to be where the next module is in this route, and this is the fastest one to obtain. And I should also note that I'm playing on the 60 frames per second patch. And this select buffering, as we call it, as well as the red door out of bounds, both of those tricks are much more difficult on the 60 frames per second patch, just due to the frame rate. Like, as you just saw and heard, there was that very strange sound effect. That's what happens if you get caught in the select buffer during the cutscene. That just happens if you accidentally close the map screen. And then the barrier that just came up actually pushed me out of bounds, and then I have to be careful where I dash here because a lot of this is just pits, and then around every door that I just went into, there's actually a zone that will kill me instantly. Something else to note about out of bounds is the game actually has a death timer when you're out of bounds, and after about 3 to 4 seconds the game will instantly kill you. The way to fix that is to either use the sit command, which is down on the D-pad on an Xbox or PlayStation controller, to heal yourself, or to take damage. So as for the rest of my HUD in the top left, the thing on the very left is my amount of health kits, which will fully heal me. The pink bar is my ammo, and I start out with a pistol which has 6 shots, and then I regenerate ammo by hitting things with my sword. Hitting enemies gives you more ammo than just hitting objects such as flowers. Coming up, I'm going to do a damage boost strat, which will save me some time, because normally you need to go over to a room on the left after killing all of these enemies and create a bridge. instead you can just do that. And then we're gonna go up here and fight the first boss. Oops. Actually didn't need that health, but better to be safe than sorry. This boss is incredibly easy because you can actually stand in one spot on either side of him and never take any damage. And he's dead. And so this is the first pillar that I activate. It also looks like a giant play button. And like I said, I need to activate one of these in each area. And I still need one more module, which I'm going to get after I pick up another weapon, which is the blunderbuss, or the shotgun. I'll explain a little bit about the shotgun in just a moment. But first, I'm coming up on the 4th module in this area. And when you pick up the 4th module, it plays a cutscene, but you can actually open the map and teleport away, which skips the cutscene. Alternatively, you can save and quit to avoid this, but I will never do that in this route. And then earlier you saw me do this door out of bounds. Oops, hold on. You can do that on nearly any door that works that way. So now that I have the shotgun, I have 2 weapons, which is important for a lot of reasons. One, the shotgun does 5 damage at point blank range, and it also allows me to switch weapons. And the shotgun has a cooldown on its reload animation, or not animation, but normally you have to wait 2 to 3 seconds for it to reload, and it plays a sound, which signifies that it reloads. However, if you swap weapons, it instantly reloads that weapon. So by switching weapons twice, I can fire the shotgun and swing my sword, and then just continue that over and over again to deal massive amounts of damage. Also, I forgot to mention that you can cancel your gunshots with a sword swing or a dash. You can also cancel your sword swings with a dash. And so with the pistol, it allows me to deal 2 damage very quickly. With the shotgun, I can deal 6. This is the pink drifter. That's the slide I mentioned.
Why don't you go ahead and let me know when you have a moment for a couple donations?
Now is good, actually.
Okay, sounds good. We got $30 from Nirm. It says it's FMA, not FME. Not going to fully explain that. Good taste for FFL3. Thanks, Nirm. And we also had $10 from Windiest Miller. It says, let's hit that 3K. Thank you so much for your donations.
Alright, so proceeding back through the north. I have to be very careful because pretty much every enemy in this area has an attack that will kill me instantly since I only have 2 health. Okay, didn't die. And then right here I'm going to trigger this arena, and then I'm going to use the barrier that forms to push me out of bounds. And what that did is it got me behind a door that normally requires me to have activated 3 modules in this area to open. And what this does is it gets me to the boss quicker, and it also gets me another module. And those squares that those guys summoned will deal 2 damage. So I have to be very careful to not get hit by pretty much anything. These little guys will only deal 1, but still a pain. Okay. Okay, coming up on the second boss, and probably the most dangerous. All of her attacks will deal 2 damage. Enjoy. Okay. Well, that happened. This game also has an auto-aim feature with the dash, so sometimes it will dash you in a direction where it thinks you want to go, instead of where you're actually pointing on your controller. It is also notorious for dropping inputs like crazy during boss fights. This usually does not happen. Please dash, Drifter, when I tell you to dash. These squares aren't supposed to be active after the moment they flash, so I'm not sure what's going on. Apparently they also improved the homing on that ability. Please dash, Drifter. I usually kill pretty much every boss first try. This one is no exception, so I'm very sorry for this long. Okay, she's finally dead. I'm sorry that took me so long. All those deaths will probably put me overestimate as well, but I guess that doesn't really matter right now. I'm getting a large amount of input drops. This game also has a habit of not recognizing during certain sections where it's either trying to load or trying to save, like just there. I didn't do 3 dashes in a row, I did 2, then paused, and then did another 2, but the game counted that as a set of 4. So that's why I bonked. But I don't really care, because I'm almost done with this area. One more out of bounds, and then teleport away from the cutscene. So that's 2 areas down. The next will be the west. It doesn't actually matter what order you do these levels in a casual playthrough. You just... Oops, I got stuck in an out-of-bounds inbounds trap. Anyway, you can do the levels in any order, aside from you have to do south last, because it's locked by the pillars from the previous areas. There we go. So normally, if you don't have to save and quit, that saves time and stamina. So proceeding through the west here, I'm going to do sets of 2. Input drops willing. And if that had worked properly, I would have gotten here with just barely enough stamina left before going down this elevator. Thanks to the drops, I am instead at almost full stamina. The west is probably the easiest area in the speedrun. There's not very much risk of falling off anywhere. A lot of the enemies only deal 1 damage with their attacks, so there's not a high likelihood of me dying. I know I just jinxed myself, but hey. So this trick is called, well, it's Crystal Clip. I wait for the crystal to reform, and then I start dashing. And you can do this without bonking, but it's just easiest if you just bonk. But for whatever reason, it allows the character to just walk out of bounds. And then there's actually a hole in that wall that the drifter can just walk through. I crashed the game, so I'm gonna have to reopen that. I was afraid that might happen. Unfortunately, this build is somewhat unstable. For whatever reason, in certain spots, if you switch weapons too quickly, and now I'm stuck out of bounds, but in bounds again. Unfortunately, if you switch weapons too quickly in certain spots on this build, the game will crash for no reason. I've been working with the developer Heart Machine to figure out why exactly this happens, but for every fix that they find, I just find more ways to crash the game. Another crystal clip, and then I line myself up with a statue. So activating the teleport pads not only gives you the ability to teleport back there, but it also refills your health and ammo, which is why I waited to heal. And I'll be coming back here later because it's faster to come back to this area for a module after fighting the boss and activating the pillar in the area. That's not good. I don't know why I had my pistol out, but I did. And I forgot to open the map, so we have to watch this cutscene. Luckily, it's not too long.
Would this be a good time for a quick donation?
Go for it.
Yeah, so we just received a $20 donation from MXC Potato saying, props to my man Muncha for showing off his mad drifting skills. Donating because his mad love for running drew me to the community and has led me to find so much room for growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Potato. He's an old co-worker of mine whom I haven't seen in a very long time, so it's nice that he's still around supporting me. Oh, also, all those crystals that just came up out of the ground will kill me instantly. So. I like how you find this guy and then he just kind of like, oh, you're here. And then he puts the guy down. It's very important that I have full ammo for this boss. With any luck, I'll get the proper setup to get a quick kill on him. If not, then well, you get to see me have fun running around to avoid death. Okay, killed him. That wasn't the quick kill pattern, but it was good enough for me. So we've activated the third pillar. We have opened up the path to the south. We just need one more module in this area in order to access the final area of the game. Okay, that's dangerous. Oops, forgot I already had the map open. So the reason I choose to come get this module last is because during this cutscene, the wolf enemies can't actually kill you. Otherwise, trying to get back out of that area is very dangerous. Especially in New Game Plus. And if you're wondering why I keep doing that out of bounds, I completely forgot to explain this. The reason I do that clip through that door is because there's actually a small cutscene that plays when you leave the house area, but by going around the trigger, I obviously never see it. It saves a small amount of time if you do each skip properly. So during a slide, you can actually interact with objects. It's mostly useful on elevators, as you just saw. So in the south, there are 4 bosses. Oops. This area can actually be extremely dangerous, so I will take some safety measures, such as getting that health, when waiting here for a checkpoint. Oops, did not want to use that amount of stamina. Okay. So that happened because when you take damage, for some reason the game doesn't allow you to do any input. Please stop shooting me. Thank you, auto-aim, for dashing me off of the platform. I don't know what is going on. There's also some sword attacks which I'm attempting to do, which one will chain through any enemy, or any set of enemies like that, but it's triggered by pushing the attack button and then dash, so it's very easy to accidentally do that when you're also just trying to evade enemies. And the unfortunate thing about that attack is it uses up half of your stamina bar. So if you use it at the wrong time, you can suddenly be without stamina, and without any method to move to safety. Another ability I have is that bullet absorption shield. I forgot I didn't have any stamina, and if you have stamina you can also reflect bullets. Great, I have no ammo. So now I actually have to go back and kill a couple of these guys, so I'll have ammo for this boss fight. And he's dead.
Yeah, I can see why you wanted the ammo there.
Just a hair off of the elevator. The reason we do that boss first is because to access some of the rest of them you need one module activated, and there's actually two in the next part of this route. One on the way to the next boss, and then the one just after the boss. This is one of the worst rooms in the game. Ideally, I would not have fallen right there, but it happens. Take a small detour to get another health kit. This coming up is another arena fight, so I kind of need to have some safety cushion. I didn't think that that guy would look at me. The rockets will kill me instantly because they deal like 1 billion damage. I did not mean to use that. I don't have to kill these 3 enemies in order to get through here. And I usually don't see them group up around that door. For whatever reason, today they chose to. This game is just against me today. Didn't even need that.
Jeez. That was almost instantaneous the way it just came at you.
Yeah, this boss is honestly one of the more random ones. Also, for some stupid reason, the explosion radius is also large enough to hit you from a mile away. Would you laugh if I said I could beat this category in under 34 minutes?
I've seen you do it.
Why are you dashing, Drifter? I don't understand. Whatever. He's dead. I'm out of here.
Wow.
Wow, how did that hit you?
I don't know. Okay, I absolutely hate this room because for some reason on this ledge right here, the game insists on always aiming you toward one of these enemies instead of to a safe spot where you can just dash over, leading to a lot of unused or used up health kits that normally would not be used. So here's my setup for this boss now. Okay, so I have all 4 modules in this area. The only thing I have left to do is kill the last boss in this area, activate the module, and go back to town. Hair off of the elevator once again. I'm glad you liked that kill, Gur. I spent some time trying to figure out what was what with that. Another out of bounds to skip an arena fight, and opening a door. This is Charles, the rocket guy. Goodbye, Charles. That's the best part of the run right there.
just a quick reminder for folks, if you are enjoying what you are watching so far of the game and want to try it for yourself, I got some good news for you. If you donate at least $5 to the marathon, you have a chance to win a copy of this game.
It is a very good game, despite whatever I may say about it right now. Alright, time for the archer. I expected that, honestly. Okay, she's dead. And yes, I do mean she.
You know, for a sickly guy, the drifter does alright.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. Okay, now we just have to go down this elevator and kill the final boss. Time will not end when I kill the boss. Time will end about 45 seconds after that, when I lean against a pillar. I will let you know. You actually can't sit on any of the elevators in this patch, Onan. The only elevator you can sit on is the one in the east. And even then that causes you to fall. So in a normal playthrough of this game, you would encounter this boss in cutscenes after activating the 4th module in areas, in some sort of vision, and then you finally confront it here. In this category, however, this is the first time you ever see it. Say hello to Mr. Snuffles.
Snuffles?
Yep, Mr. Snuffles. He's a pushover. And he's down.
Nice.
Okay, so now the only thing left to do is walk down. Any other action will cause my character to cough. There are a few scripted coughs, such as this one. There's 2 more. And please don't count this as a world record in chat. I would rather you not do that. But I appreciate the thought. So time is coming up. And get ready. And time.
Looks like it's
Don't
gonna
wanna
be
know.
a...
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's okay.
But thank you. Thank
42,
you for having me.
15,
It's so fun to
15.
do this run. Oh god.
Meta!
Well, I will now retire to the mountains where I will live as a goat. Anyway, what do we have next?
Yeah, we have Shovel Knight, and that was a bid war between either playing as the character Shovel Knight or playing as Plague Knight. And it looks like, let me do a little quick check here. It is going to be Plague Knight. With $290, Shovel Knight came up with $170. That's actually still pretty good considering the marathon is only raised over $2,500. So that's a pretty significant chunk.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Alright, so stick around for Tolu's run. He's really good at it. He's the only person to have ever beaten Plague Knight any percent in under 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So it should be pretty good.
And of course, thank you again, Muncha, for running not only Rumbo with the dev, but this game as well. And you are going to be running this game at AGDQ this year too, aren't you?
Yes, and ideally it will look nothing like the run you just saw.
Well, you'll have a lot more time to practice for it, so I think you will.
Let's hope so. Anyway, I will probably do commentary for Tolu if he is willing to have me. Let me know when to cut stream and we can get started.
Alright, I believe we can. We're going to run a quick 60-second ad while we are swapping over to Tolu, so hang on tight.